Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, September 24, 2021. The Agriculture and Fisheries Ministry has provided $5 million to incentivize farmers and fisherfolk to subscribe to the GK Weather Protect insurance coverage. It's a parametric rain, drought, and wind insurance policy for the agricultural sector. The funds will be used to subsidize the initial premium for the first 1,000 farmers and fishers. $5,000 will go towards the coverage of the first 300 females and $3,500 for the first 700 males. Both categories include youth below the age of 29. Minister with responsibility for agriculture and fisheries, Audley Shaw, made the announcement in Parliament on Wednesday while updating members on the impact of tropical storms Grace and Ida on the agricultural sector.
The agricultural sector is particularly vulnerable to the impact of weather-based disasters, with severe weather conditions generally being a major challenge.
With the recent passage of tropical storms Grace and Ida, the agricultural sector suffered damage valued in excess of $1.7 billion, impacting over 21,000 farmers. Stakeholders in the fisheries sector will soon see a major reduction in the turnaround time for the processing of license and registration applications. The Agriculture and Fisheries Ministry is working with the Transformation Implementation Unit, TIU, to overhaul the existing manual process. The new fisheries licensing and registration system will be web-based to facilitate online application and greater efficiency in generating and processing data. It will also allow for a faster turnaround time for applicants to receive their licenses. The $1.2 million system is being executed under a 6-year program being funded by the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB. 5 emergency shelters across the island will be upgraded to provide access for persons with disabilities. Ramps and rails will be constructed at the Nain High School, New Forest Primary and High, Ensom City Primary, Leonard Revival Primary, and Pepin High School. The undertaking was confirmed by way of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, and Digicel Foundation. Both stakeholders agree that the necessary retrofitting will not only benefit the vulnerable among the shelter population, but the schools in general.
We are talking about the necessary accessories that should be in place to ensure, especially for persons who use wheelchairs, your wheelchair ramps, your rails, your bathroom should be fabricated in a way to ensure that persons with disabilities can use the bathrooms, and especially your sleeping areas should be fabricated in such a way or reconstructed in such a way that persons with disabilities can access these facilities.
This is 5 that we'll be doing in this financial year, and we will look to continue to partner with them as we move forward. So our charge, not just to ODPM, but to all of us, is let's do our part in whatever way we can, however small it is, to make a difference in the life of someone with special needs.
There are over 867 shelters across the island, with almost 90% of the locations being schools. Attorneys at law empaneled by the Legal Aid Council for complex criminal trial proceedings will soon benefit from increased fees, equating to 15 to 20% of those for private lawyers. Minister of Information Favour Williams says Cabinet approved the increase, which is in keeping with Section 4(2)(b) of the Legal Aid Act. She was speaking during Wednesday's post-Cabinet digital media briefing.
The rationale for an increase in the tariff of fees was as a result of the current wide disparity between fees payable at the private bar and that of the fees applied by the Legal Aid Council to empaneled attorneys who offer legal aid services.
According to Minister Williams, the restructured fees were approved by the Legal Aid Council for it to be prescribed under the Act. She informed that Cabinet also gave approval for the issuing of drafting instructions to the Chief Parliamentary Council for regulations to give effect to these undertakings. The legal aid regime seeks to guarantee the constitutional rights of all accused persons to a fair trial, regardless of their ability to pay for legal representation. 42 wards of the state at the Mount Olivet Home for Boys were presented with back-to-school supplies during the recent Back to School and Career Day put on by the Jamaica Information Service, JIS. The donation was provided with assistance from Joseph's and the Why Be Afraid Foundation. The event is one of 3 main activities for the year to support the home as part of the JIS Corporate Social Responsibility Agenda.
We look forward to this time of year when we plan for back to school Everybody know that the problem and the concern and the issues we are having with the pandemic, but nevertheless, life goes on.
Various professionals in fields such as animation, music, entertainment, events production and management, as well as customs contraband enforcement, were invited via Zoom to inspire the boys regarding career options. And finally, amendments have been made under the Disaster Risk Management Act (DRMA) to facilitate an increase in attendance at worship services. Effective September 25, the number of persons who may be physically present at a place of worship will be no more than 20. However, where the building can accommodate more persons at a minimum of 6 feet apart, no more than 50 persons will be allowed. While Sundays remain no-movement days until October 24, provisions have been made in the DRMA for worshippers to travel on that day between the hours of 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. The same adjustment for places of worship has been made for weddings regarding the limit to the number of persons in attendance. However, there has been no change for funeral services with mortal remains present. The maximum number of persons is 20 regardless of the size of the place of worship. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.